She is an associate member of the institute. She working as a company secretary in Webtel Electrosoft Private Limited. She associated with Webtel since the year 2011. She is project manager of XBRL and a project manager of GST, e-way bills, and e-invoice. She also heading legal profile. She having an overall experience of 9 years. With these lines of introduction, we welcome you for today's session, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. So, good morning, students. I think everybody has joined the session. Monica, we can start the session, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning, students. So, as per today's topic, we are here the XBRL compliances, the whole concept of XBRL that came into India. So, let's start from the beginning. Like in 2008, the government brought up the concept of this XBRL in India. So, first of all, what is this XBRL at all? Expansion of this exactly this term, that is extensible business reporting language, stands for XBRL. So what XBRL, I explained from the very beginning. Earlier, what used to happen is that in India and also in the other countries also, what corporates used to do is they used to prepare their balance sheets as per the schedules applicable to them. Like in India, it was schedule by Schedule 6. People were doing convenience. Like if you talk about any term, share capital, somebody was mentioning it with some other term. So people were handling every tag in their balance sheet, every head in their balance sheet as per their convenience. For example, if I talk about the debtors, so somebody was some corporates. I think some people are saying that my voice is not audible. Is it audible to you? Monica, my voice is audible to you?
Yes.
I guess. Okay. So, companies were preparing their balance sheets with other XBRL, like the commercial and taxonomy. So, what using the balance sheet as per their convenience. For example, if I take example of cash, somebody was mentioning it as cash in hand. Somebody was mentioning cash on hand. Some people were taking it as cash. Some people were not. They were treating it as current assets. So there was no similarity in the balance sheets. Balance sheets. There were no standardizations. Same was with the cash flow statement, and same was with the say with the profit and loss statement. So the concept of XBRL, which was the whole about to standardize the balance sheets, the financial statements of the company. And when we talk about the standardization under XBRL, it is not just limited up to balance sheet or to profit and loss statement. I guess my voice is cracking a lot because there are continuous messages from people. Just give me 1 second. Am I audible now? Okay. Okay, so when we were talking about this concept of XBRL, the people, like the government came up with the concept because they wanted to just minimize possibilities of any hidden things in the balance sheet that they were using just to shuffle the cash, just to shuffle with their hidden things in their corporates. Like, as you know, there are so many paper companies also. There were so many paper companies also. We all are into CS field. We know about the people, so many paper companies and shell companies that are being made just to shuffle the share capitals, the things, and their transactions. So people used to do this because just to meet out there these kind of motives. So when this XBRL concept came, it was not just limited to balance sheet or to profit and loss or to cash flow statement. It also included the auditor's report, the director's report, the MGT9, and other things that were relevant with the financial statement. So when we talk about the annual report of any company, it covered all the things. Annual report covers all the things. So same is in XBRL. People the corporates have to cover all the aspects of their annual reports. Say it any financial statement, say it any textual information, and everything. So for textual information also, government has prescribed that yes, these are the practical things, these are the standard norms which you have to follow, and you have to mention your balance sheet and financial statements as per this taxonomy. What is taxonomy? When we talk about the taxonomy, taxonomy is a whole concept that is, you can say it is a principle given by MCA Ministry of Corporate Affairs. It said that this is the principle. Under this, you have to convert your financial statements into XBRL. So this is we will show you, like we will proceed. Neetu, my colleague, she will demonstrate. She will show you how the taxonomy appears, how does it works. She will show you. But before that, let me just complete the whole concept of XBRL. So when we talk about XBRL, besides this, what are the benefits that are majorly which were the motive of government? That was like they wanted the such shuffling of the tags, the hidden motives, the immoral the terms with the government, with the corporates, to be minimized, and so that the fair and actual and transparent view of any balance sheet comes across. So MCA is not in a in as such norms that yes, there are specific things that you have to there are no hard and fast rules for XBRL, yeah, but yes, standardization is there. You have to go through like that. And earlier there was the concept of CNI, and then the government came up with the concept of INDES in 2015. Were covered into INDES. So when we talk about INDES, so as per the company's rules, whoever the company is, if it is getting covered in INDES, it has to file its financials under XBRL format. So it is clear that when we are talking about the INDES applicable companies, they all have to cover their balance sheets under XBRL. But when we talk about the companies which are non-INDES, like normal companies, so there also government has the concept. They said that yes, these are the norms. If you are falling under these criteria, you have to file under XBRL. So what were the criteria? All the listed companies. They said three things. Like if you are any listed company, you have to file under XBRL. Yes, listed companies covered. And when you are talking about other companies, so when we are talking about the share capital, if your share capital is up to 5 crores or more, then you have to file under XBRL. And when you talk about the turnover, so whether your turnover is 100 crores or your share capital is 5 crores or you are a listed company, you are covered under XBRL. So take an example, if a company is an Indian company and is a listed company, for example, let's take the criteria of listed company. So a listed company has to file under XBRL, but it has a subsidiary. So it is a small company. It is having a paid up capital of 1 crore or say, and turnover is also very much low. So whether it has to be covered under XBRL? So the answer is yes. The government says that if you are covered under XBRL, if any company is a listed company, so these companies are having anything, any subsidiary, Indian subsidiary, they are also file under XBRL, and they also have to file their balance sheets in XBRL format. So this was the thing. And now, as of now, at present, since after 2015 year, there are two scenarios going on in XBRL itself. One is C&I and industrial taxonomy, and other is Ind-AS taxonomy. So XBRL is flowing both concepts. So the company who are under Ind-AS, they are going with the Ind-AS taxonomy, and if the company if is not Ind-AS company, it is non-Ind-AS company, they are going with the C&I taxonomy. There were also concept of costing taxonomy also. It is also covered under XBRL. So if a company is falling under particular criteria of cost accounting, they also have to file under cost taxonomy. Earlier also, the government said that the companies which are NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, they also have to file under XBRL. So it created a confusion that the companies were saying that if we are NBFCs, we have to file under XBRL. But if we talk about the XBRL itself, XBRL does not have any tags as per NBFCs. Right? The government said, MCA said that yes, we will bring up the taxonomy of NBFCs also, and the banking companies also. Like they were about to bring the taxonomies for NBFCs, one, and the taxonomies for banking companies, second. So these two taxonomies was about to come, but it didn't come. And today also people are in confusion that whether we have to, the NBFCs companies are under confusion whether we have to file under XBRL or not, because as per the compliance they were to file, but they don't have any taxonomy, so how can they file? Because in XBRL one cannot make itself a taxonomy for itself, right? So you have to find a specific taxonomy. So right now, what we are suggesting the companies, such NBFC companies, to do is they just need to file the AOC NBFC form, and before that they were also, they were not sure whether what should they do. What should they do? So what they did is they were raising the complaints, or they were raising the tickets to MCA that we are in absence of any taxonomy of NBFCs. So what should we do? So they were saying that you have to file under XBRL. They were not themselves clear. We got some tickets from so many companies that if we are talking to MCA, like what should we do? They are saying that you have to file under MCA, but the again question comes that how to file, because we are not having taxonomy. Some people are asking, and again, what is taxonomy? So when I talk about the taxonomy, the government has said that these are the tags. Taxonomy is a kind of structure wherein so many tags are there, and for each specific liabilities, for every asset, for every government has given a label, a standard deed, that yes, this is the thing. Under this, you have to mention your financial statements, right? So if I talk about director's report, they have an extract of MGT9, but in taxonomy they say extract of annual report, right? So we have a tags like this. So we have to mention every and each thing in the taxonomy. With going forward, while we explain, we will show you how the taxonomy looks like. You can also get to know that how it is, the concept is. So like I'm forwarding this to Neetu. Neetu, we can start with the concept.
Sure, ma'am.
Share your screen.
My screen is visible.
Yeah, Neetu, we can start with presentation first, and then we will come to taxonomy. we can start with this presentation. Like you can see, what is XBRL? It's Extensible Business Reporting Language. So X is taken from extensible, so you don't have to get confused about it. So XBRL is an XML standard for tagging business and financial reports. So what is XML now? XML is an instance document. So XML and or instance document, it's one and the same thing. What is it? It will be the out when you actually convert your financials. Then when you will actually convert your financials into XBRL, you get an output that would be called XML or instance document. So when you go through that, you will be filing this XML, this instance document with AOC for XBRL. I guess there is so much problem with this. So you can you please continue while I fix my voice?
XBRL is an XML standard. XML stands for the Extensible Markup Language. It is more like an HTML, which helps us in business and financial reporting. Accessibility of business information in uniform manner. It is globally acceptable in many countries. Now let's discuss the taxonomy. What is taxonomy? It can be referred as electronic dictionary for the reporting concept. It consists of all the data information like basic properties of XBRL, interpretation, interrelationship amongst the concept. It includes the terms such as income, net income, EPS, cash balance, bank balance, trade payable, and etc. Each item has specific attribute that help in define it. Taxonomy may represent hundreds or thousands of individual business reporting concepts like mathematical definitional relationship amongst them, textual label in multiple languages.
So I think taxonomy, you can read about this. And when I explain this, this is the taxonomy. That is, it is an electronic dictionary that government has given. They have said electronic dictionary means you can talk it about as dictionary. They like if I talk about a normal dictionary, it is like if I want to find a meaning for anything, I can just refer to I can just search about that thing, and I will get a proper synonym for that, or a similar term for that. Same is with the taxonomy. So if anybody wants to tag a simple thing, they want to tag their share capital, they can just search that and they will get the actual tag in the taxonomy for that. So taxonomy is a whole thing that explains you that your financial statements, what does lie in the equities, what lies with current assets. Like you cannot just tag anything in current assets. If you're talking about any sundry debtors, you cannot go to fixed assets and file and mention it there. You have to file that under current assets. So they have maintained the criteria, that is equities and liabilities. Then comes the if you're talking about the liabilities itself, then there would be fixed liabilities, non-current liabilities, and current liabilities. Same with when coming to assets, it will be like fixed assets, non-current assets, and current assets. So everything has to lie underneath. Like the balance sheet would be in a structured form, and all other things would lie therein. If you go under, you will get particular terms under the particular head. Like if I open the tab current assets, it will get so many terms under there. Like I will get a tag for cash in bank. I will get a tag for cash in hand. I will get a tag for miscellaneous assets. I will get the tags for everything if I am going through. Going forward, we will show you the actual things like how do we find any tag in taxonomy. Then get to know the clear picture about this. Moving to next slide. Will you please come to next slide? These are the advantages of XBRL. Like I told you that it gives a clear and fair statement, so no company can hide anything if it is falling under XBRL. So you can say the strict thing which is saying to any company, yes, whatever you are, you have to mention it, and you have to mention it in a particular tag. You cannot just throw it like that and it will be under some last pages and nobody would be accessing them, nobody would be noting them as such as important. So you have to mention everything with its So these are the benefits. It is also cost saving. It is also faster, more reliable, and the handling of data becomes very much easier. Like if, for example, if I am giving you a simple cupboard and all the clothes are just shuffled therein, you have to even to find a handkerchief, you will be just taking out every and each cloth and finding about it. But if I give you another cupboard and everything is arranged, that handkerchiefs are there, the jeans and other things are there, then formal wears are under a particular drawer, casual wears are under a particular drawer. You know that where to find which cloth, and you will just open that particular drawer and you will find it. So same is with you will get a particular slide there, you will get a particular head, and you will just go to that and find it. You don't have to scroll through the financial statements and the annual report and find what the information is there. I give you an example of board meetings. Like if we want to find how many board meetings were there during the year, we will go to the director's report and we'll check each and every page where is the board meeting details are there. So we will just find. But when we talk about XBRL, it gives a specific tag. Yes, you have to mention the number of board meetings that were held during the year. You have to exactly just punch in the number, whether it is 6 or 8 or anything. You have to file the number. So in find that how many meetings were held, you will just check and get. Same is with the signatories. If I say, like, if you want to know which directors, which signatories did sign the balance sheet, or did sign the auditor's report, or did sign the director's report, you have specific tags, you have specific space for that in XBRL. XBRL taxonomy says that yes, you have to mention which were the directors which signed the balance sheet, on which date, what were their DIN, what were their other details, what were their qualifications. It will ask for everything. In a director's report, normally we don't mention what are the qualifications of directors, but in XBRL you have to mention that also. So everybody would come to know that yes, this directors is having this qualification or this experience. You will get to know about that, and on which date they signed the balance sheet, and on which, and same is with auditor's report. You don't have to scroll through the auditor's report and find out the membership number of auditor, or the exact name of the auditor. Even I'll tell you one more thing, that in taxonomy in XBRL format, they check the all the things with the MCA registry and income tax registry. Like for MCA, you cannot just mention anything for any director. If I am saying a director is mentioned as Rajendra Kapoor, and it is having a particular DIN of 00001972, when you enter 00001972, XBRL or MCA will just go to the history and check whether 00001972 is actually having its name of Rajendra Kapoor. Or if we mention just like that, like in running form, what we do is we sometimes mention Rajendra Kumar Kapoor or somebody, like the pre-texts are changed or the post-texts are changed. So you cannot just mention like that. Whatever you had registered while you were registering your DIN, you have to mention the same thing here. And same is with auditors. What was the name registered with the government while the membership number or its SAN, the same number, the same thing will go, the same name will go with this while filing the balance sheet, if I talk. Right. So coming to next slide, Neetu. XBRL filing came. So under section 1, they mention yes, like the companies which were doing it till now, they have to continue with it. Like the C&I company, non-Ind AS companies, yes, if you are having a turnover of 100 crores or more, you can file under XBRL, and you have to file under XBRL. And if you are having any paid up capital of 5 crores or more, you have to file under XBRL. And if you are a listed company, then also you have to file under XBRL. But why it is not mentioned here? Because most of the listed companies, and if I say I'm not all the listed companies would come under Ind AS. So when we'll talk about Ind AS compliance, then the listed companies would be covered there. So we can remove it from here. So now we are talking about in C&I. If we're talking about the C&I things, so it will be like the turnover criteria and paid up capital criteria. So two more things I would like to mention here, that it is saying or. You don't have to meet the criteria of both the things. You don't have to say like I will have the paid up capital of 5 crores and I will have the turnover also of 100 crores. No, you have the option. If you are falling under any of the categories, whether you are having the turnover asset or whether you are having the paid up share capital asset, you have to file. So even if you are meeting with any one criteria, you have to file under XBRL. The next thing I would like to mention is that this is the compliance, but yes, the companies which are not falling in this criteria, if a company is having a turnover of less than 100 crores, or if a company is having a paid up capital of less than 5 crores, it can also file under XBRL. They have this voluntary option. Liability and all with the compliance that you will always have to file under XBRL. You cannot withdraw, then you have taken the option for once, you will have to file under XBRL for all. Right? Coming to next criteria. Now we are talking about the Ind AS. As I said, the listed companies, so we remove. So listed companies are mentioned here. Along with that, companies which are having net worth 250 crore rupees or more. So even if a company is having a net worth of 250 crores, then also it has to file under Ind AS, and then it has to file under XBRL. And of course, their holding companies, their subsidiaries, their joint ventures, their associates, all the things. But in C&I, what we say, all the Indian subsidiaries. So in C&I filing, for non-Ind AS companies which are filing under XBRL, only their Indian subsidiaries are covered. Then we were not talking about their holding or their associate or their joint ventures, but in Ind AS, their joint ventures and their holding and associates are also covered. What is C&I? Somebody is asking what is C&I? C&I is commercial and industrial taxonomy. The companies which are not coming in Ind AS taxonomy, that is Indian Accounting Standards taxonomy, they will have to file under C&I, that is commercial and industrial taxonomy. So you can say for the smaller companies, they have to file under C&I, and the bigger companies, the larger companies which are falling under this criteria which is present on your screen, they will be coming under Ind AS. Neetu, please come to next slide. That were the exemptions given. Non-banking financial companies and companies engaged in the business of banking and insurance sector. So for housing and financial companies, there was no confusion that they were exempt. Same is with banking business and insurance sector, but NBFCs were under some confusion. But now MCA came up with the declaration that yes, NBFCs companies are now don't have to file under XBRL till the time they're not coming with any other form, or till the time they're not coming with any taxonomy process. Neetu, please come to next slide. Somebody is asking why these companies are exempted. Like in previous slides, why banking companies or insurance companies or the housing bank companies or NBFCs were exempt? Because government doesn't take the government does not fit for all in all. It comes with specific, like about it's not covering the companies which are having less than 5 crores or which are having less than 100 crores turnover, right? So they are not covering every and each aspects. They are giving they will be going step by step. Like in present scenario, you can say we are coming to unlock criteria as of lockdown, right? They are losing everything step by step. In reverse criteria in XBRL, they will cover each and everything one by one. Once the index is settled, then they will come. They will put this liability on other companies also. In future, what we are looking forward is they will cover all the companies which are filing under India, all the companies which are registered under India. In future, government will make the criteria for all the companies. Then you will not have any criteria of paid up capital or turnover. So all the companies would have to file under XBRL. But now they have taken only a selected piece of the corporate, right? Same is with non-banking financial companies. Moreover, I will say they are not ready with the taxonomies as of now, so they are not covering these companies for trade. Neetu, please come to next slide. What documents are covered under XBRL? Yes, as I said, annual report. So in whole, annual report covers all these following. But yes, annual report has to be covered. If some companies are not having annual report, for example, smaller companies don't go as such CGA and NDA reports. It happens with the listed companies mostly. So they don't have the NDAs and CGA reports and things like this is CSR and so they will be having just their financial statements. Statements are covering the balance sheets, the income statements, and the cash flow statements. So these will be there. And accounting policy, yes, they will be covering their accounting policies, the auditor's report. And if I talk about auditor's report, it is also covering the annexure to auditor's report, right? And if we are talking about director's report, that board report, it will cover all the annexures of board report. Yes, notes to accounts are covered. Ashita has asked whether notes to accounts are covered. Yes, notes to accounts are covered because notes to accounts are covered. Some notes to accounts are covered under accounting policies, and some notes to accounts are covered under the other notes. They are the schedules to particular tax. What will be the steps? Somebody was saying what are the practical scenarios, how the process takes place. So this will be the thing. Once you will be converting your financials into XBRL, then you will have this instance document. This will be the output. You can call it the instance document and you can call it the XML also. It is one and the same thing. So you will have this validation tool. It is a validation tool released by the MCA. You will just file like that. No, you first have to go through the test of validation tool, the XBRL validation tool of MCA. And this validation tool, and it will show you some errors. If you have missed anything, you don't know how to proceed. If you are saying you think some like if a corporate thinks that it is very smart and will do some your total is not coming as to same with your the cash in hand as you mentioned on the face of the balance sheet, the main balance sheet. Like you have mentioned rupees 50 as your cash in hand in your main balance sheet in your assets, but under the details of cash in hand you are not totaling up to 50. You are saying it is 45. So XBRL validation tool will find out yes, this is the mismatch in your amounts. You have to clarify this also. You have to ensure that your financials are meeting. They are actually in the form which you have mentioned in the balance sheet. So it cross checks your calculations also. You have to be fair enough with your calculations also. Firstly, we were talking about the standardization of balance sheet. Now we're talking about the calculation aspects also the financial figures also. You cannot just put in some amount or it will be like that. You can mention anything there. No, you have to coming up to a total. So that would be to upload the instance of MCA site. We will show you also where you can download it from, and then you will insert your instance document. You will validate your instance document. MCA tool will do this. You will first step would be the pre-scrutiny. Like if you file any form of ROC also now, then you have the button of pre-scrutiny. First you will pre-scrutiny your form and your form. Same is with this instance document. You will first pre-scrutiny validate and then you will get the pre-scrutiny things. In validation, you will get the broader aspects, broader errors like if there are any calculation mistakes or if you have mentioned if you're left with any mandatory tags. Government had said that if you are filing under XBRL, there are some mandatory tags. You have to mention some important information. So I think that you can just text that is not a zero if you're not having such information in your balance sheet. So, what instance document while validation, it will show you such errors like computation mistakes, calculation mistake, or if you have left any mandatory time. When you are coming to please submit me error, then it will show you the information like if the name of any director is not matching with the name registered with them, or if the name of auditor is not matching with the name with its panel membership number. It please submit me errors would be like that. Then you will convert your PDF. While converting your PDF, you will get the output. Like if you will open your instance document or your XML now, you will not have to not a human readable language. It is on encrypted form. You will not be able to find out what is the output of a conversion. How will my financials look like if so what the tool gives you this option. You can convert your financial statement into PDF. You will have a button there. It will say you want to convert your financial into PDF. You just click on that. Your financial statements would be downloaded into PDF. Just open that and you can check with your actual statement that yes, information is correct or not. Your contents and now we're talking about form AG4 XBRL. So when a company is filing under XBRL, it has and not the normal AOC4, right? But if you talk about the difference in both the forms, like AOC4 XBRL and AOC4, you have to insert manually punch everything. Like current assets, you will mention the figure therein. You will mention the figure of your share capital therein. You will punch it manually. You have to punch it. But in XBRL, you will just attach the and your form will be done for the CA portal. Now we're talking about the cost XBRL. So which companies have to file so these companies have to file under the cost XBRL. Like they have the criteria of the number which is there INR 50 crores or more. And other companies there are also. So if any company has covered cost XBRL, costing cost audit. So they have to file the costing cost accounting with XBRL also. You to please come to next slide. Again, these are the exempted companies for now. The companies whose export revenues are in foreign exchange exceed 75%. The companies which are under SCZ or in electricity companies, they are exempted right now. So please next slide. There are some software vendors. So if we talk about the software vendor, the vendor is the company which will be providing you the tool to convert. I was checking the questions are coming. How to convert? Like we are saying that you will convert under XBRL, but how will you? Which was given by such vendors. You can get the list right also. Need to end also tool and things. Next slide. Hello, am I audible? Neetu, we can come to the final taxonomy view. I guess there is some internet problem, so I have just stopped the video for 1 or 2 minutes so that the voice is okay. Nitu, please stop sharing your screen and reshare it because it is not visible. It is stuck somewhere. Nitu, please reshare your screen. It is visible now, Nitu. So, I was getting the questions of how the taxonomy looks like and what is the taxonomy whole. So you can see, Nitu, can you just click on the screen of this main screen of taxonomy? So like you can see on your left hand side, you can see the balance sheet that you have prepared under whether C&I or under Ind AS. So right now it is a normal C&I taxonomy. So it is on left hand side, it is on left hand side we are talking about your financial statements, your balance sheet that you have prepared as per the applicability of rules to you. And on right hand side, it is the taxonomy given by the government. That is the XBRL taxonomy. So right now you will be clear what is the taxonomy whole about. You can see there is a mentioned form of Nitu, please minimize these buttons. First of all, show them that how the taxonomy actually looks like. Yes. So we have given the concept of balance sheet, cash flow statement. Somebody was asking, how would the notes to accounts go on? So in taxonomy, they have given each and everything like balance sheet, and there is statement of profit and loss, then cash and cash flow statement, then comes share capital, reserve and surplus, and other things. The list is very long because there are so many there is so many information in the annual statement. So one has to file all these things. Out of these things, government has said, MCA has said, yes, you can leave some things, but the mandatory things have to be filed, converted by you. So now these are not just the tags that you can see right now. There is so many information therein. For example, if we click on the plus tag of balance sheet, you will get to expand everything. Now balance sheet is showing two things, but one is equity and share capital, equities and liabilities, and other is the asset part, right? So when you expand to equities and liabilities, please let's see the taxonomy first. While it is getting loaded. So what you will do is you will have a utility software from any vendor that MCA prescribes. You can get the tool from there. You will have to insert your financial statements. You have taxonomy. So right now I'm showing you the instance of Webtel software, that is WebXBRL, and on the left hand side you can see the balance sheet that you have prepared. On the right hand side you can see the taxonomy. So when I expanded balance sheet, it is showing me the two heads majorly, that is one is equity and liabilities and other is assets. So when I expand one by one, first I'm expanding the equities and liabilities. So in equities and liabilities itself, it is showing me three tags, that is equities and liabilities, the non-current liabilities and current liabilities. So one by one I'll expand one thing. If I'm clicking on the shareholders funds, then it is showing me share capital, reserve and surplus, and money reserved against share warrants. So you can see everything is having a specific space for itself. It cannot just lie down anywhere. You cannot just click anything. in your balance sheet, maybe you have mentioned share capital, you have not mentioned anything in your share capital and your reserves and surplus. If I say you have not put in the details as required, but in XBRL you have to mention each and everything. So if I talk about the conversion, so what you need to do is you need to just mention the figures, the amounts in your relevant tags. So if I talk about the share capital, can we tag this? So as per this software, you just need to click on one figure and the next relevant figure of previous year also gets tagged. So now you can see your information related to share capital is gone. It is mentioned there in XBRL. So when you are coming to reserve and surplus, you will again mention the figure of reserve and surplus. Now let me just give you another idea of reserve and surplus, like what other information the software, the taxonomy asks for. Like what is the taxonomy saying if it is actually asking about the more information or relevant information. So can you come to the details of reserve and surplus, Neetu? So see, if I don't expand these tags, the government, the XBRL says that yes, in reserve and surplus, you have to mention in either of the or multiple of these tags only. You cannot mention anything in reserve and surplus. The things you are mentioning in the reserve and surplus should be either capital reserve or capital redemption reserve or securities premium account or debenture redemption or share options or deemed employees and things like this. You cannot just mention anything in reserve and surplus. If you are having anything else, you will go to a specific tag of that. So if I see in my balance sheet that I have prepared, it is showing me first thing is surplus, right, Neetu? So in surplus, I will find the same thing in taxonomy. Yes, I am having the surplus tag and the reserve and surplus. So now I'll just mention the tag of opening balance. It is same. And again, if I'm talking about the surplus itself, it will not accept any figure from me. It will calculate itself. It will ask me what was the surplus in the beginning of the period. Like when I entered on 1st April of any financial year, what was I having in my hand? What was the actual reserve? So I will enter the beginning amount, and in the year, if I had any profit, I will add it to reserve and surplus. It will add it, and if there are any other additions, if I have put some amount from any other cash into a reserve and surplus, I will mention it in other additions. And if there are any deductions, if I am having any loss or I just took out some amount for any reason from surplus, I will mention it under the deductions. So when I will be converting the financial statements, the MCA tool will be checking whether the calculations are correct or not. Then there you require a proper tool so that your calculations are going fine or not. You should get a prompt while converting that. My financials are getting okay, the calculations are getting intact itself while the tagging. So I'll just enter. I can see I'm having the profit for the year, that is 9 lakh something. I will just enter it under the profit and loss amount. So it was my addition to my reserve and surplus. Then in deductions, I don't have anything. Then my closing balance is coming up to 73 lakh something. So I will check whether it is okay or not. Now you can see it has done with this calculation, and it is saying yes, what you mentioned in your balance sheet is fine. The actual calculation is like that, and your surplus is at the end. That is your closing balance. It is exact what you bet is coming under XBRL. So same thing will go. If I talk about securities premium account, it is again under reserve and surplus. So I will find a tag of securities premium. Yes, XBRL taxonomy gives me a tag of securities premium. I will go to reserve. Again, it will ask me the opening balance, which I was having on 1st April. I will enter it. If I'm having any additions, I will enter it, and same is the case with deduction. If there is nothing, it will show me the total end amount that is reserved at the end. Okay, now we can check whether our totals are matching or not. The totals which I mentioned in reserve and surplus in my main balance sheet, whether it is coming okay or not, or I have left anything. So in main balance sheet, what we tagged is, see, this software tells you that if you have mentioned the calculations exactly, you will get a green highlight that yes, you have mentioned everything and there is no discrepancies in your financial. So if I'm talking about the portion of reserve and surplus, it is okay, it is done. So I will move on to next tag in the same way. If I'm coming to income statement part, I will have the same way of income statement therein, the total revenue part and the expenses part majorly, and the next is tax expense. So I will again go to my balance sheet which I have prepared on the left hand side. So now that revenue income portion, I will go to my statement of profit and loss, come to my income portion, and it says that what, like you are saying revenues from operations, your operations are like what, your revenue is from sale of products or it is from services. So this is the thing. Earlier what people were doing is they were just mentioning as revenue. There was no history कि कहाँ से आपका कोई revenue आ रहा है, आपने क्या कुछ amount को कहीं पे कुछ आपने कोई product sell किया है, आपकी कोई service थी, या आपने कुछ और ही किसी और reason से कोई rent आया था, कुछ था. You have to mention how your revenue is coming from. Sorry. So what I'll do is I will either enter it into sale of product or services depending on the nature of my business. So some companies do mention it exactly. So right now if I see in my balance sheet, it is saying it is having some details in Annexure 14A. So I go to 14A and check whether I am having the revenue from products or services or from something else. I will just check it. See, it is saying that revenue was from sale of products. It is generally mentioned in your balance sheet. So you can find it from there. And in case you're not having it, you need to check with your accountants. You need to check with your auditors that yes, this information is missing in my balance sheet, because MCA will not let it in unless you mention it exactly. And the validation tool will throw you an error that yeah, you have mentioned your income in your statement of profit and loss, but you are not mentioning the details therein. So I will put the amount of sale of products and enter it. So now I'm coming to the next revenue, that is other income. So again, what other income means to you? You have to mention exactly what other income is there. So I will tag it. Again, I have to mention what is the other income coming from. I'll go to the tag of other income. It is 14B in my details of my balance sheet. I will see where is my income coming from. Now see, this is the kind of discrepancies is to be find out while XBRL. They have mentioned, this company has mentioned that there is some interest. They are saying yes, other income है और कोई interest से आ रही है. Interest कहाँ से है? You have to mention it. आप देखो XBRL taxonomy में ही गवर्नमेंट ने बोला हुआ है अगर आप interest भी दे रहे हो तो interest is coming from where? ये current investment से आपका interest है. Current investment की आप अगर बोलोगे तो it will not take just उसमें आपसे पूछेगा कि current investments में से कहाँ से fixed deposits हैं आपके intercorporate deposits हैं, आपकी current debts हैं या कोई other current investments आपको mention करना पड़ेगा. और अगर आप long term investments में mention करोगे तो again यहाँ पे भी आपसे ये पूछेगा कि आपके कौन से इन्वेस्टमेंट्स है जहां से आपका इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है. सो अभी तक लोग क्या करते थे XBRL से पहले कि इंटरेस्ट मेंशन कर दिया, खत्म काम, हमारा हो गया. आप जो कभी ऑडिटर होगा भी तो क्या चेक करेगा, हमने तो इंटरेस्ट दिया हुआ था. इंटरेस्ट कहाँ से आ रहा है? इंटरेस्ट तो एक बैंक अकाउंट से भी आता है, एक सेविंग अकाउंट से भी आता है, बट आप उसको ऐसे नहीं दे सकते. आपको स्पेसिफिकली यहाँ बताना पड़ेगा कि मेरा ये पर्टिकुलर इंटरेस्ट अगर आ रहा है तो कहाँ से आ रहा है. So I will have to mention. Right now I am not having any information therein, so I will put it in interest on other current investments. और अगर मुझे ये भी श्योरिटी नहीं है कि मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट से है कि नहीं है, so I will again scroll down. So I can see other non-operating income. So it will show me the other things. अगर जरूरी नहीं है कि आपका इंटरेस्ट सिर्फ एक इन्वेस्टमेंट से ही हो, कहीं और से भी हो सकता है. आपका कोई इंश्योरेंस क्लेम आया हो, कोई सब्सिडरी से कोई इनकम हो, कोई सेल्स टैक्स से आया हो बेनिफिट आपका, या आपने कोई लाइबिलिटीज राइट ऑफ करी हो, तो आप वो बताओगे. अगर आपको भी नहीं पता तो आप मिसलेनियस में उसको मेंशन करोगे, बट आप उसको ऐसे नहीं छोड़ सकते हो. सो राइट नाउ आई विल ऑपरेटिंग इनकम, बिकॉज मुझे एग्जैक्टली नहीं पता कि ये वाला मेरा इंटरेस्ट कहाँ से था. तो राइट नाउ आई एम पुटिंग इट इनटू मिसलेनियस. सो दिस इज द थिंग, आप कोई भी चीज को ब्लंटली नहीं बोल सकते. यू कैन नॉट गिव एनी वास्ट स्टेटमेंट कि हमने तो बता दिया कि इंटरेस्ट है तो हो गया. नहीं, आपका एमसीए आपसे कंफर्म करेगा कि इंटरेस्ट है तो कहाँ से है. अगर ये आपके टूल की कैपेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए कि अगर आपको कोई और इन्फॉर्मेशन ऐड करनी हो तो आप ऐड कर हो कि नहीं. लाइक इस टूल में यू हैव दी ऑप्शन, आप यहाँ पे भी डिटेल्स में चेक कर सकते हो. अदरवाइज अगर आप किसी टैग पे कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन को टैग करना चाहते हो, आप राइट क्लिक करोगे, आप उसमें टेक्सचुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन इंसर्ट कर सकते हो. लाइक वी कैन शो यू, इट इज लाइक अ फुट नोट डिटेल्स. इफ आई गो टू करंट ईयर, अगर मुझे करंट ईयर में कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन डालनी है तो आई कैन मेंशन इट लाइक मिसलेनियस एक्सपेंडिचर है, बट मुझे कुछ याद था कि मैंने ये इंटरेस्ट किसी पर्टिकुलर बैंक से लिया हुआ था, इंटरेस्ट फ्रॉम बैंक ए, तो मैं वहां मेंशन कर सकती हूँ. राइट, सो दैट मुझे पता रहेगा कि मेरा इंटरेस्ट कहाँ से था. तो आई विल सेव इट. सो इट इज नॉट जस्ट फॉर माई पर्पज कि मुझे पता लग जाए कि इंटरेस्ट कहाँ से है, या आप जब यहाँ पे मेंशन कर रहे हो तो ये एमसी में भी जाएगा. ये सेम अमाउंट आपको आपकी पीडीएफ में भी दिखेगा कि जब हम इसको कन्वर्ट करते हैं तो वहां पे ये शो होता है. राइट, सेम नाउ इन सेम वे हम अपना CNI कंप्लीट करेंगे. जब हम CNI की बात कर रहे हैं, व्हेन वी कम टू इंडेस फाइनेंशियल्स, तो लेट्स लोड टू इंडेस फाइनेंशियल्स. सो इंडेस की टेक्सोनॉमी गवर्नमेंट ने इंडेस स्ट्रक्चर के हिसाब से दी है. अगर आप डिवीजन 3 की बात करते हो, somebody is asking for which one is the best software. Which one is the best software? So software depends on you, what comfort you are getting from any for last 9 years I'm into this XBRL thing. For last 9 years, that is from the beginning itself, 2011, I have been using this web XBRL software. It is registered with MCA and it is very much fine with me. It is very user friendly. But again, It is an individual decision. You have to check all the, you have to check some options, and whatever you find okay, then you can proceed with it. We cannot describe or mention that yes, you can go through this software or any other, right? So now if we are coming to Ind AS taxonomy, so again you can see the whole difference therein. In balance sheet, if I say, आप देख पा रहे हो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे you can have the financial statements that you have prepared. So in Ind AS it is kind of reverse thing. In Ind AS you have the assets on the top, you have the equities and liabilities at the bottom. But in C&I we were having the vice versa, like equities were at the top and liabilities and the assets were at the bottom. So again, in taxonomy, government has given the taxonomy just like that as per division 3. So it is balance sheet. Again, it is assets at the top and equities and liabilities at the end. In assets, it is showing me two tags, whether non-current assets and current assets. So depending on my assets, I will go to specific tag. If I see in my balance sheet, it is saying I am having current assets. So I will expand the option of current assets. Now in current assets, I am having inventories. So I will find in current assets where I am having the specific tag for inventories. I will punch in. Now I'm seeing that I am having some financial assets. So I can see like I was not having the previous year figures tagged. So I will just change the setting that my previous year figures are not in column E, that is not in just next column, it is next to next column. So I have taken the difference of 2 years, 2 columns. So now it is figures from next to next column, that is from a gap of 2 columns. Now my figures are tagged of previous years also. So coming to next thing, it is financial assets. So in financial assets also it is saying trade receivables. So I will find where trade receivables are in my taxonomy. Yes, I am having the tag of trade receivables. I will punch in. Next is cash and cash equivalents. Then I am having other current assets. So now it is like total assets are coming up to 15.86 lakhs. You can see it is mentioned lakhs in the taxonomy, and while converting, you also have the option to check out your rounding of values. Ritu, can we show the selection criteria? That how can we take the figures in actuals or what? See here you have the option, you can select actuals if you are having just figures in rupees, or if you are rounding up to thousands or lakhs or millions or crores or billions or hundreds. So you have the option of rounding off. So this option. So I can see my total assets are matching. Yeah, like I have mentioned in balance sheet that it is coming to a total of 15.86, and in previous year it is 1.86.23. So I can check, yes, it is matching. My total assets are coming same in the taxonomy. So when I will send this information to government, when I will convert it into instance document or XML, the information will go just like this. So in this way, you will have this XML generated. Nitu, can we just generate the XML for them? So you will have to click on the button of generate XML. Somebody is asking the question that whether you are just clicking and the figures are getting tagged. Yes, from this software you are just clicking and your figures are getting tagged. So while generating also you may need to enter some figures, like it is asking you're generating, yes, you're generating the information of instance document, but for which period? So you have to mention the current year period. You will say, yes, I am taking the 1st April 2019. you click on generate. Ritu, please, can you generate the things? Ritu, let's load the validation tool for them. Let's go to MCA site of XBRL. Even on MCA site, you have the quick links of XBRL site of government.
MG site is not working.
Maybe problem at the MCA server. Let me just check if I am getting it loaded. I'm also getting the same error. Let's show them the again. It is taking too much time to now. So we can show them the validation tool from this software. We can just load it. Validation tool from the software and then upload this instance document into there. Select the taxonomy and instance document. Like here, the tool will ask you that filing for C&I or NDS, and if you're filing for C&I, which is the year which for you were filing. If you were filing for 2011, the taxonomy was different. If you're filing for 2012, then the taxonomy was different, and afterwards it was coming. It came into 2016. It got revised, and then it is coming the same and as it was in 2016. So there is no other taxonomy for C&I. The last was for tax 16 2016, and then there is NDS. So we will select the appropriate taxonomy as per our balance sheet and upload our instance document therein. the tool takes time to get loaded. The taxonomy takes time. No, somebody is saying that MC site is not working. Yes, MC site is not working. But if you have the tool, you can get it loaded. The taxonomy will get loaded. So once it is loaded, then you can include your taxonomy in therein. Let's wait for this, because until therein you will not be able to proceed. Neetu, while this taxonomy is getting loaded, we can show them the AOC 4 forms. If you have downloaded it, because MCA site is not working, you will not be able to download from the site. If you have it on your desktop, you can show them. Let's show the normal AOC 4. We won't be able to fill in the information, but we can show them the difference between both the forms. You can see the taxonomy has got loaded successfully. So it also shows that the taxonomy ने load होने में कितना time लगाया था. Now you can just click on OK and insert your file. So first step was to download the tool. Second step was to select the taxonomy and download the taxonomy. Third step would be to insert your XML, that is you have generated from your XBRL tool. Now I have selected the XML. Now it is getting loaded on the top of the validation tool. You can see the percent that it is getting uploaded or not. It has got uploaded up to 30% now. See, like I was talking about the errors which the tool shows. So if I click on OK, and Neetu, आपकी screen चली गई है. We are having the questions that anyone can use this validation tool. Yes, you can download it from the MCA site and you can use it. But the problem is that how will you use it? You will have to have an XML document, an XML instance document for you. Then you can use this tool now, because you will have to upload your instance document in this. And to convert and get the output of instance document, you will have to have any XBRL conversion software. Now you will select, you will click on the button of validate, because we want to check whether our XML is validated or not. You can see it is showing me around 173 errors. So when I talk about the errors, as I explained earlier, it tells me that what are the different errors. If I have left any mandatory tag, it will tell me that yes, you have not mentioned mandatory tag. And when any computation is not correct, it will tell me that yes, this computation is not correct, and you have to simplify it. You have to just check it and mention it as correct. Your screen is stuck. Please share your screen again. So you will have the list of whole the things like you will have this option of improving your or correcting your errors. Like you can just read out to it, correct them. To correct them also, you have to again go to your conversion software and you will correct your information there itself. So these are the list of errors that you can see. It is coming from the software, and now this list is coming from the MCA tool. So if I read out to any error, first, it is saying that cash and bank balances. You have not mentioned them exactly, because you have mentioned in your balance sheet is like 1388,000 amount, but you have not mentioned this amount under the details. So it is a tag. It is a calculation mistake that you have made, or you have missed to file the information therein. So you have to mention the details in your cash balance also. So if I check on this error, I will go to cash equivalent. So I'll go to this details. So in my balance sheet, I was having the balances with banks. In current account, I was having fixed deposit account, I was having cash on hand, but I did not mention it in my XBRL taxonomy. So validation MCA tool has told me that yes, you have not mentioned the details, but you have to file this mandatory. So I will just check where I can find where I can mention the balances with banks in my taxonomy. So I'm having the option of other balances with bank. I will tag it there. And if I want to have any information there, I will just click right here and see the details. It will tell me that in your financial statement, you had mentioned it at balances with banking current account. So I will save it. So what was my convenience here? I did not have to type in anything. That I just clicked on save, and the software just took the information from my balance sheet and mentioned it here. So when I talk about fixed deposit account, I'm having the option of fixed deposits in the taxonomy. I will click it. Next is cash on hand. So I will tag cash on hand in cash on hand option. Now I can check my total is coming as 13.88 in current year and 91.26 in previous year. So I will check it. If it is okay or not, I will go to the top. Now the software has told me that it is green, that your calculations are matching. So you need to have such kind of software which can show you at the time of tagging that you are missing something or you are having some mistake. So you can correct it there itself. Otherwise, you then have to generate your instance document, upload that into validation tool. Then you are having the error. Then you will have to again go back to your tool and correct that, and again the process will get repeated. So you have to have such smart software which will convert and it will tell you the mistakes there itself, right? So coming to the error list, the MCA error list. So these are the kind of things which MCA says. So I have told you one mistake of the calculation mistake that it is showing. Now, if I talk about the seventh error, it is saying element equity share capital is not required. So it was a mandatory tag, but I missed it. So MCA tool will not accept it. It will say that go back to your financial statements and please mention what is your equity share capital. So in this way, I will mention all the things. Now we can come to the AOC 4 XBRL form. In AOC form, in AOC 4 XBRL form, you don't have to enter each and everything specifically like you had entered in your normal AOC 4. You just need to attach your XML generated from your software and your validated XML. You will just attach it and you will file your form. So you don't have to mention any other thing therein. It is a very simple form, unlike the AOC 4 normal form, because there you have to fill the information manually. You need to punch, but in AOC 4 XBRI you don't have to punch in the information. Your whole all of your information is residing in your instance document and you will get it from there. So this is your XBRL form. Only you have to mention your and you click on pre-fill, your details will get filled. Right now it won't be working because MC site is not working. Need please come down. See, this is the form of just 2 to 4 pages. You will just attach the document, your instance document. You will have the option of, you can see first attachment. You can attach your instance document. In case of consolidated, you will have the consolidated also here, and you will just file this form in such way, right? So coming on to Q&A session, Monica, can we start with the question and answers? While I had answered most of the questions while the session, you can tell me if any other questions are with you. While I can see in the chat box, like a Q&A box, somebody has asked that what is the procedure, or I can repeat the procedure to validate. I will just download the validation tool from government. Then I will select the taxonomy which is appropriate for me. I will click on download taxonomy. It will be downloaded. Then I will upload my instance document. I will click on validate. My file will get validated, or it will show me the errors. I will click on pre-scrutiny error. Then once my file is validated properly, then only the tool will show me the pre-scrutiny option. Otherwise, it will be disabled. So I have to clear all my validations. Then I'll get this option of pre-scrutiny. When it is also done, then I will have the generation, the final validated instance document. I also have the option of export to PDF. So as I told you, in export to PDF, my financial will get converted into PDF form. I will check whether I have mentioned the details exactly or in correct form or not. Somebody is asking, do the companies which require to file under XBRL also require to file AOC4? No. If you are filing AOC4 XBRL, you don't have to file AOC4 form. So if you don't have to file normal form AOC4, you have to file exactly the AOC4 XBRL form. Somebody is asking from whom this XBRL is to authorize. I'm not getting the question exactly, but if you are asking how your financials are getting validated, these are getting validated from this validation tool. This is from the government and MCA. So you are getting your financials validated, your XBRL financials validated from this. Now your PDF is created successfully. You will click OK. And where you have generated your PDF, you will just open your PDF and you can check how the financials are filed. So this is the kind of output that is human readable to you. Need to please zoom it once more. Yes. So it will show you the name of the company for which you are filing. This is the name of the company, that is SIN, which is for filing. And then with the details, other option, the details which is getting filled from the SIN. Then the disclosures. So it is the format of government. It is not the format of any particular corporate or any other particular software vendor. It is the format of government. Government gives you this result when you upload the instance document therein. So it is, for example, if I tell you how to read it, you can see there is saying number of board meetings. Like you can see it is saying 0 because we have not mentioned there in anything. If we had mentioned the number of board meetings, it would have shown me, yes, these are the number of board meetings that I have shown. So if I come to balance sheet part, Neetu, can you scroll down to balance sheet? So it is showing me which figures I had tabbed in balance sheet. It is the same format of Ind AS because we were talking about the Ind AS conversion right now. So it is saying I have not mentioned anything in property, plant, equipment, not mentioned anything in non-current financial assets. It is saying 0, and I have only mentioned in current assets, that is inventory. As you have seen, I had mentioned only inventories and current investments and cash in hand. So it is showing me the figures in this only, right? Other things are 0. So MCA validation tool had thrown me the errors of this, that you have not mentioned the details in this. So in order to clear my errors, I will have to get it uploaded. I have to mention the figures therein. So one question is there: how this taxonomy prepared? The MCA prepared this taxonomy. It came across with the government with the MCA, and MCA of course taken the inputs from ICSI and ICAI and ICWAI at that time. So then it prepared the taxonomy from taking the help of all the institutions also. Somebody is asking, can we modify it? We cannot modify the taxonomy, but yes, we can modify our financial statements or the information that we are filling in while converting the XBRL form. Yes, somebody is saying that can we file the financial statements through XBRL even though the company does not fall under XBRL applicability? As I told you in the beginning, yes, we can file it voluntarily basis, but please note it, once we file, even if voluntarily, once we file under XBRL, we will have to get it filed every year under XBRL subsequently. Then you will not have any option to opt out of XBRL. Again, this is the same question, that the company which is not covered under 137 is required to file, is required to use this taxonomy. Yes. There are different versions of validation tool. Which one we have to select? No, there is only one validation tool authorized by the government. Only one MCA validation tool. That is the option. But software vendors are so many, but these are you have to choose only that vendor which is authorized from government, and then you have to check which is more user friendly software for you. What we need to attach while uploading AOC4 XBRL form. You have the option of in the form, the mandatory option. Neetu, can we come to the form attachment option? This is the attachment option. The details have mentioned therein. Some are the mandatory attachments and some are voluntary. So you can attach accordingly. First is the mandatory attachment because you have to file your instance document. Somebody is asking, once XBRL is filed with MC, can we modify it? Yes, like other ROC form, you can modify this also. You cannot file every form in XBRL. You can only file your balance sheet, your financial statements, and your annual financial statements in XBRL. Other forms you have to file in the same way that MCA gives you, whether it is GNL1 or it is Director DIR 12 or any other form. You have to file in their exact form that is there. For XBRL, we are only talking about the annual financial statements. Instance document is nothing but the documents like annual reports and others. It is a consolidated form of your documents, your annual reports, and your other details which you have mentioned therein, but in XBRL form. A company secretary do this even? Yes, it can be done by the company secretaries, it can be done by any CA, it can be done by the accountants, it can be done by anybody, but the person should have the knowledge of the balance sheets, and the person should have the knowledge of XBRL. Majorly, you can say, since we are into CS business, in the CS profession, we can say yes, company secretaries should do it and company secretaries do it. Right? I am a CS. I am heading the XBRL department in Vector. So I have been doing it, and I am having so many CS under me and CS trainees under me. Right? So we should opt this option for us. We should not leave it. Somebody is asking if we want to back off from XBRL. No, you cannot back off from XBRL once you are covered under it, whether voluntarily or whether militarily. So I think we are done with this XBRL part. Now we will be moving to our Excel training and to the income tax part and to the GST part. So I am having Mr. Sanjay Jha with me. He will take on from here. So Sanjay, welcome to the panel. Sanjay, good afternoon. Sanjay, am I audible?
मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी, yes Sanjay.
Yes. Start. Hello everyone.
Sanjay, you can share your screen.
Please do me share
the
rights.
Excel.
Share rights.
Yes, Sanjay.
Share.
Sanjay, your voice is very low. Can you make your volume high? आप अपनी वॉल्यूम सेटिंग्स चेक कर लो प्लीज, उसको अगर आप उसको हाई पे रख सकते हो.
Done.
Please open your Excel format.
Okay, ma'am. My screen is visible. Done.
Yes, Sanjay.
First, मैं तीन चीज और एक्सेल. फर्स्ट हम जीएसटी मैम. ओके, डन.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
No problem, Sanjay. You can start with any of the topics.
आपको पता है जीएसटी गवर्नमेंट के दो टैक्सेस होते हैं, डायरेक्ट टैक्स, इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स. जीएसटी इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स
संजय
में आता
आपकी
है.
वॉइस थोड़ी सी लो है. संजय आपकी वॉइस थोड़ी सी लो.
हेलो.
आप चेक कर लो, अगर आप सेटिंग्स में से उसको हाई कर सकते हो तो.
मैम
हाई है आपकी?
हाँ, हाई है मैम. आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
हाँ जी, नाउ इट इज ओके.
सबसे फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम जीएसटी की बात करें तो ये इंडिया का सबसे पहला रिफॉर्म है जीएसटी. ये 1 जुलाई 2017 से लागू हुआ था और इसमें वायरस चेंजेस आए हैं अभी तक. अभी मुझे बताया गया है तो जीएसटी के वायरस फॉर्म के बारे में मैं आपसे बात करूं तो जीएसटी में टोटल 11 फॉर्म है, जैसे जो मेन फॉर्म होते हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल होता क्या है सर? कोई भी गुड्स और सर्विस को हम सेल करते हैं तो उस पर जो टैक्स लगता है उसको हम जीएसटी कह सकते हैं. इंडिया में
Sanjay, there are some people who are not able to understand in Hindi, so I will translate for you in English. So now Sanjay, what Sanjay is saying is that we are having in India, we are having two sorts of taxes. One is direct taxes and one is indirect taxes. So when we are talking about the GST, it is one of the major reforms that government brought in 2017, and GST got applicable in India from 1st July 2017. It is applicable for goods and services. As the name suggests, it is applicable to goods also and to services also. So if any company or any person registered under GST is selling anything or is providing any services, it has to be covered under GST and it has to pay GST, that is goods and services tax. So coming to next, Sanjay आगे proceed करें.
जीएसटी में बहुत वन आउटवर्ड सप्लाई रिटर्न मंथली फॉर्म है ये. जीएसटीआर टू इनवर्ट सप्लाई रिटर्न मंथली फॉर्म है ये। जीएसटीआर टू है ये ओनली रीड का फॉर्म है। और जीएसटीआर थ्री भी ऑटो पॉपुलेट होना था गवर्नमेंट का, लेकिन वन उसके बदले में थ्री बी का फॉर्म आ गया है। जीएसटीआर फोर रिटर्न्स के फॉर्म्स हैं। ये कंपोजिशन डीलर के लिए जीएसटीआर फाइव फॉर नॉन रेसिडेंशियल टैक्सेबल पर्सन फॉर्म है। जीएसटीआर सिक्स
So I'll explain. So
सर्विस
what Sanjay
डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर
is
का फॉर्म
saying
है।
is that there are some kinds of forms the government has brought in. So if we talk about the forms, there are some monthly forms, there are some annual forms, and there are some quarterly forms. And besides that, there are different forms for specific dealers or specific taxpayers. So if I talk about the monthly forms, it is GSTR 1. GSTR 1 consists for the sales during any month. GSTR 2 and GSTR 2 is for the purchases, and GSTR 2A, that is the reconciliation part, that is also done on monthly basis. Then GSTR 3B, GSTR 3B is for taxes. We need to consolidate our sales and purchases, and we need to pay our taxes monthly through GSTR 3B. So GSTR 1 is a live form which has come into existence, and people which are covered under GST are filing this form. And GSTR 2A is yet not into existence. It was about to come, but it has not come as such. But people are filing GSTR 2A, that is reconciliation. What GSTR 2A reconciliation is that once any person sells anything, for example, I am registered under GST and Sanjay is also registered under GST. But if I am selling anything to Sanjay, so it is a purchase for Sanjay, but it is a sale for me. So I will file my sales under GSTR 1, but Sanjay has to file under GSTR 2. But GSTR form 2 is yet not available from the government. So what Sanjay is doing, Sanjay will check that whether I have mentioned my sales which I did with Sanjay, which whether I have mentioned it in my GSTR 1 or not. If I have mentioned it, then Sanjay can take the advantage from that. Otherwise, Sanjay will tell me that you have not mentioned the sale you did to me. So I will again check my form and I will correct it. So here is the list of the forms that which Sanjay is displaying. That is GSTR 1. It is for outward supplies. It is a monthly form. It is filed on 11th of every month. So if I talk about August month, yesterday, 11th was the last day to file the GSTR 1 for August. So it is 11th of the next month. So if I talk about the inward supplies, that is purchases, it is 15th of the next month. If I talk about 2A, it is the read-only document. One have to even check on the certain things, and it is also done by 15th of the next month. Next is 3. It is auto-populated document that comes out of GSTR 1 and then is 3B. It is inward and outward from it is on 20th of next month. So if I talk about August, so I will give the summary in 3B on 20th of September, and then I will file the text therein. I will submit the text in 3B. Sanjay, am I okay? Sanjay, I'm correct till now?
Yes, ma'am. You are correct. Next form is 6. This is the ISD returns forms, and GSTR 7 is a return for taxpayer which is required for direct TCS monthly basis. Like a GSTR return form furnish only e-commerce operator which is required for collect TCS. GSTR taxpayer registered under the composition scheme. 90 is a e-commerce platform or NCE taxpayer we are required to get audited balance sheet. Thing is written for registered tax person monthly applicable. This is a by form.
So Sanjay has described the whole. Sanjay has described the whole list, but maybe Sanjay's voice is not clear, so I will read out for everybody. So we have talked about the monthly forms. Now we are talking about the forms which are applicable to specific person. That some are for composition dealers, some are for non-resident taxable persons, some are for ISD. So for ISD, the distributors which are covered under input service distributor have to file the GSTR 6. GSTR 6 and that is to be filed under on 13th of next month. For non-resident taxable person, they will file GSTR 5 on 20th of next month, and composition dealer will file quarterly basis. Right, they will file GSTR 4. So when I talk about the annual returns, it covers the GSTR 9, 9A, 9B, and 9C, and GSTR 10. So it is generally GSTR 9 is filed on 31st December of following the financial year end. GSTR 4 is now annual return, is quarterly form of composition. GSTR 4 is composition. Sanjay?
Yes, 4 is a composition dealer. Composition dealer means ये डीलर जो रेगुलर चार्जेस ना करे, जिनका रजिस्ट्रेशन कंपोजिशन डीलर के थ्रू हुआ हुआ रजिस्ट्रेशन, जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन इज ए रेगुलर डीलर, कंपोजिशन डीलर, एससीजेड, टीडीएस डिडक्टर एंड अदर वे.
Okay, and what is CMP 08?
Return to furnish by e-commerce operator.
Okay, CMP 08 is for e-commerce operators. Okay. Sanjay, can you scroll down? Sanjay, आपका screen please scroll down. Yes, yes. So if I talk about GSTR 2A, see GSTR 1 and 2 are very simpler things. So main concerns what people face is in GSTR 2A. So Sanjay, GSTR 2 का एक बार description पे हम आ जाते हैं.
2A.
So 2A पे. Yes. So I will read it out for you. This is a read-only document that gets auto-populated and as and when the seller files GSTR 1. जैसे मैंने आपको अभी inform किया था. Like if I am selling it to Sanjay, I will file my GSTR 1. So from my GSTR 1, Sanjay's GSTR 2A will be auto-populated from government. And Sanjay just check on it whether the details are filed are fine with him, okay with him or not. And your screen is not visible.
Yes, ma'am. Visual. My
No, please. No, it is not visible. Yeah. Just check.
My screen is visual.
हाँ जी, load हो रहा है अभी. Yes, Sanjay, it is getting loaded. Yes. So if Sanjay finds कि कोई mismatch है, तो in case of any mismatch, the recipient would be Sanjay because I have sold it to him, right? So Sanjay the recipient would be able to either accept it or reject it or modify it or keep for pending invoice. So if I say accept, so Sanjay would accept or the purchaser or the recipient would accept. In such case, when the information filed by me in GSTR1 is okay. But if it is not okay, if I have mentioned some incorrect thing therein, Sanjay would reject it. But the purchaser would reject it. If I say, in case I have sold him a product for 50 rupees, but I have mentioned it for 45 rupees, Sanjay can modify the details because he was the purchaser. So he can modify and mention it as 50. Then I will have to either accept it or reject it. Again, or if facing some doubt, Sanjay can keep it pending and he will check it out. He will see about it later on. Sanjay, is it okay?
कभी एक्सेप्ट और रिजेक्ट वाला एप्लीकेबल नहीं हुआ था. ये जीएसटी लॉ में तो है, लेकिन ये एप्लीकेबल टेक्निकली इशू के कारण ये अभी एप्लीकेबल नहीं हुआ था. ये ओनली व्यू
Okay, due to some issues, government has not made it applicable yet. So coming on to 3B.
3B.
Yes.
Auto-populated return. It is a summarized monthly return for outward and inward supply. It is filed separate by the both purchaser and supplier.
Okay, fine.
3B is a self-declaration by the taxpayer. Ability for the concerned paid is the normal registered taxpayer. Even if the tax liability is zero, the due date of it is someone on of the next month. 3B is mostly a client well filed is a tax liability is other than zero.
So that means, Sanjay, that means 3B is to be filed by both the parties, right?
Both the party.
You will also file and I will also file, right?
Yes, ma'am. If your tax liability is a zero, but 3B is a file necessary. Okay.
Even if my income is zero, my tax liability is zero, then also I will file a zero return 3B. I will say zero. So it is a declaration. So
suppose your income, your sale is zero, your purchase is a nil zero, but you are filed GSTR1 and 3B for monthly basis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Sanjay, can we open the GSTR1 form from the site?
Hello?
Sanjay, can we open the utility of GSTR1 from the site?
GST, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
संजय, साइट लोड हो गई है क्या आपके पास?
1 मिनट, मैं अभी लॉगिन कर रहा हूं. मैं पोर्टल लाइव लॉगिन.
ओके, फाइन. सो वी आर नॉट एबल टू सी योर स्क्रीन. संजय, कैन यू आप एक बार स्टॉप करके वापस से शेयर करोगे?
My screen is a visual?
No. Please stop your screen and again share it. Sanjay, it is not visible yet.
One minute, please. Host मुझे connect share.
It is loading.
My screen is visible. मेरी
संजय अभी लोड हुआ नहीं है, it is loading. Yes, ma'am. So you can show the government site to us.
मेरी स्क्रीन विजुअल
हाँ जी संजय, visible है. Please come to government site.
साइड dashboard.
Not visible, Sanjay.
Please mount over here. Financial 21 month is September.
Sanjay, can you share your screen again?
My screen is visible.
No, it is not visible. Please government site open करके then share करो screen because there is some pixel problems to get load.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so people are saying since there is problem in sharing the screen, they want to go with Q&A session. Yes, you can ask your question. So me and my team would be there to answer. Mr. Sanjay would be answering related to GST part, and I and Neetu will be answering on XBRL part. You can go ahead with your sessions, your questions. Somebody is asking, is there any online course for XBRL? No, there is no online course for XBRL. It comes with your experience, with your like how is your knowledge about any balance sheet and how is your knowledge about the financial statements. So Sanjay, if we were talking about the annual returns of GST like 9A, 9C, so we can discuss on that. But Miss Monica, can we start with the Q&A session?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Ma'am, we have some questions.
Yeah.
Just a minute. There's different examples of it. Is I'm audible, ma'am?
Your voice is tracking.
Those different XBRL software have different way of working.
Voice is not clear. Sanjay, somebody is asking that as a GST practitioner, can we do any additional course on GST?
No additional course on GST. GST is a CA practitioner. CS practitioner. You are signed in a balance sheet. Your liability is looking as a company secretary. GS norms company fulfill. Yes or no? Like GST 9C audited balance sheets file CS. CS you are looking the GST norms is a company fulfill. Yes or no? आप कंपनी के बैलेंस शीट साइन कर रहे हैं, आपको पता है कि नॉर्म्स जो है गवर्नमेंट के वो आपकी कंपनी फुलफिल कर रही है या नहीं कर रही है, वो आप अपनी रिपोर्ट्स में देंगे मैनेजमेंट को.
Okay, fine. So asking, can a CS become GST consultant? I think that can happen, but one should be having proper knowledge of GST, right? Right,
Yes.
Sanjay?
Yes, ma'am. This is an indirect taxes. This is a not indirect tax.
Yes.
GST basically service tax, कस्टम लॉ, सेल टैक्स, सेल टैक्स एंड सर्विस टैक्स को मर्ज कर करके जीएसटी लॉ बना था. तो बेसिकली नॉलेज, आई थिंक माय नॉलेज इज सीएस नॉट लिंक इन सर्विस टैक्स लॉ एंड सेल टैक्स लॉस. CS
Yes.
working is a secretary law companies.
Yes, but in case we are in particular, we are in a particular company, we are having much knowledge about their sales and their purchases and their operations, so we can have proper knowledge about that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Sanjay, we were discussing about the annual returns of 9A, 9B, 9C. So can you explain on these annual returns?
Yes, ma'am. 9 GST annual returns is, I think, as per GST 9, as per section 44(1), each registered taxpayer to furnish the annual return for each financial year. It included detail of the input tax credit, casualty tax person who has to pay tax under the section 51 and 52, and detail of for the non-residential tax person in case of the registered person has zero tax liability or nil return will be filed. Hello.
Okay.
GST 9 is for the section 44(1). GST section 44(1) is the registered person need to furnish the annual return for each financial year. It includes
Okay. So GSTR 9A is to be filed for each annual return. It is
9.
consisting of all the information about the sales which were filed. It is a compiled form, right?
This is a compliant file. GSTR 9, GSTR 1, and GSTR 3B compiled by annually.
Okay. So they're asking, some students are asking who can file GST return. So whoever is registered under GST as a GST taxpayer has to file GST return. But the monthly and quarterly returns depends on their applicability of their tax liability. For example, if a composition dealer is there, if you are registered as a composition dealer, you will be filing quarterly. But if you are a normal taxpayer, then you will be filing monthly also.
Yeah.
Somebody is asking GSTR 4 now filed annually. So the GSTR 4 is an annual form.
GSTR 4 is an annual form. Some issue government decided जो GSTR 4 is a transfer to annual, but as per GST law this is a quarterly form. But some issue, technical issue faced by the taxpayer. GSTR 4 बेसिकली छोटे स्मॉल शेयर पे एप्लीकेबल होता है. तो जिनकी टर्नओवर 1.5 करोड़ से कम हो उनको फ्रीडम देने की गवर्नमेंट ने अभी इसको ईयरली में कन्वर्ट किया हुआ है. But as per GST law this is a quarterly form.
So GSTR 4 is a quarterly form, but due to some issues faced by taxpayer and by government, due to some technical some information lacking, this is an annual form for the time being. But as per GST, it is a quarterly return.
Yes.
Sanjay, is there any amendment in GSTR 3B as of now?
No, man. This is not possible. Amendment 3B are if what 3B return is filed, so no amendment option in a 3B returns.
So one is if we have filed GSTR 3B, we cannot amend it. But
next month 3B adjustment. You are
okay.
Adjustment. So,
we can modify our 3B. We can do adjustment in 3B by next month. Okay. But Sanjay, has government made any amendment in GSTR 3B form?
No, it is possible as per some high court से decision, but it is अभी पोर्टल पे लाइव नहीं हुआ है. महाराष्ट्र हाई कोर्ट का डिसीजन आया था जो 3B अमेंडमेंट का ऑप्शन दिया जाए, लेकिन अभी पोर्टल पे लाइव नहीं है.
Okay.
लास्ट मंथ महाराष्ट्र हाई कोर्ट का भी डिसीजन आया है.
Okay.
लेकिन अभी लाइव नहीं है.
Fine. Okay.
Ma'am, we have one question.
हाँ जी, yeah.
XBRL without any software?
No, XBRL cannot be filed without any software. In the original period, that is in 2011, government was saying, MCA was saying that they will come up with any utility to file it through any other mode or through government utility, but it couldn't turn up. So if somebody is looking to file under XBRL, they have to purchase any software from a listed vendor from MCA. MCA has given a list of registered vendors. From there, you can choose any software vendor, and then you can purchase any software of XBRL conversion, and then you can use it.
One more question. How do we search any particular information in XBRL software?
How do we
search any particular information in XBRL software?
See, that depends on the software that you have purchased, whether the software is capable enough to give you the search criteria, whether you can search any tag. But if you're talking about WebXBRL software, which we were displaying, that is of WebTel, you have the option of searching. If you want to find any tag and you are not able to get it on the face, for example, we were looking for surplus in reserve and surplus. If I could not find it, we are very well aware about the taxonomy. But if a layman, if any person is not able to get the tag exactly in the taxonomy, it can enter it into the search criteria. The software gives you the option to enter the tag, and then one can search on it.
Search about authorized vendors.
Search about authorized vendors. You can go to MCA. MCA will give you, if you go to mca.gov.in, it gives you a quick link of MCA XBRL. So when you click on that, it will take you to the XBRL site of MCA. Then there you get the list of vendors that are authorized by the government.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And we have one more question. Can we track information of the
Your voice is tracking, Manka. Manka, we are not able to hear you.
Can we track information?
We are not able to hear you, Manka. There is some problem in your audio. We are getting good reviews from the students.
Is that better now?
Hanji, it's better.
Can we tag information from PDF?
Again, that depends on the software, but then you will convert your PDF into, you will convert your financials into a PDF. Then you will punch in directly, or you will copy paste it. But why to go for that? Because every company prepares their balance sheet in Excel first. Nobody prepares it on any paper form or any in PDF. For every company, they do it on the Excel format, in the Excel format. So when any software is giving you the option, for example, the software is giving you the option to just insert your Excels into that, then why to go for PDF? And when you're talking about the PDF, that is the scanned copies, then you won't be able to do it through PDF, because then you have to manually enter.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. One last question. Is there any option to go data manually?
Yes. You again, that depends on software to software. Some software only give you the option to manually punch, so you have to enter the figures manually. Some software do give the options of both the ways. You can even copy paste it, or you can tag it on double clicking, or you can manually enter it. So you have all the options. But if that depends on the capabilities of software you are using. The software should be well capable to give you all the options as per your convenience. So like we were displaying on this software of NCA, which is vendor registered from NCA, that is WebXBRL. So it gives you all the options that you can even copy paste your figures from the left side to right side to taxonomy. You can tag through double click or single click. You can even enter the figures manually. You have all the three options there.